Hey guys, Izzy and MJ from Endless RVing. So if you follow our channel, we make it very clear we're sort of like glampers, right? I mean, some people hate that, but we like full hookups. We like pools and all the amenities and stuff like that. But there's times when things happen and, you know, things present themselves to you and you have to go another route.
Right, this weekend kind of popped up out of nowhere, and this weekend is all about dry camping. So we are here days with no hookups. We're going to tell you exactly how we did it and what we do to make it work.
All right, so there may be some noise in the background. We are actively in the infield at Watkins Glen Speedway up in Watkins Glen, New York, and we are dry camping.
Now, what is today? Today is exciting here.
Yeah.
It is the NASCAR Cup Series
Correct.
race today.
So for those that are completely new to RVing, what is dry camping? Essentially, it is camping without hookups. Now, normally you have what's called full hookups. That's water, sewer, electric, or partial hookups. When you have some of them, dry camping is no hookups. So what do we have to do? The first thing we did was that we did some homework on the campground as well as the area before we came up. We didn't want to come up here and just be completely surprised. So talk about a little bit what we did.
All right, so beforehand, we researched the area. So we realized that we were not far from Watkins Glen State Park. They have a dump and they have potable water.
$10.
$10, yes. So we planned ahead. We were gonna stop there first before pulling in to the Speedway area. We filled up with water, we dumped, and
We topped off our fuel too.
We topped off your fuel, and I actually showered there before we filled up water to come to our spot here.
Also really important, which I forgot to mention, prior to us even leaving our home, I checked the oil on the generator, make sure everything, the air filters are clean, it was a good working order. Propane was topped off. I checked the engine oil on the motorhome itself. It actually needed about a half a quart because we knew we were going to be on the road for quite a few hours. So these are all things you're going to want to do to make sure everything is in good working order, because it's going to be a little more important as we go along. We're going to tell you how much we actually use this generator.
Right, and we're going to break this down for you into how we have dealt with water, electric, and sewer.
All right, so the first thing is going to be the electrical, because for us that's really important. So well, really all motorhomes and RVs, they're going to run, for the most part, on a 12-volt system. Now, we don't have any kind of hookup. We have no way to plug into electric, so when we're not on generator, we're running on our batteries. If you've watched our other videos, you know we've recently, this season, upgraded to the Deca GC2 golf cart batteries. Now, those have been awesome, as I thought they would be. And what it has allowed us to do, it has doubled our amp hours without increased cost. It cost us essentially the same amount as it would have been replacing our stock batteries. Now, there's other options out there. Lithium is really the king of the hill at this point. We just didn't feel, for our camping style, the justification for the cost of lithium. But there's lithium companies out there that want to send us batteries. We will certainly, you know, pimp them out.
No.
We'll certainly use them because they would have been great for this weekend.
Yeah, totally. Now, what we've been doing through the day is we wake up in the morning and we turn the generator on. We start charging those batteries up, we get the air going. Most of the day we have been out of the RV, out at the activities, the races, videos, everything. So everything gets turned off. So we're saving there. When we come back on, if we come back on for lunch or whatever, generator goes back on, we start charging up the batteries again. And this goes on throughout the day, again, not using it much because we're really not on there. Then at night we come back on, the generator goes on, and now we leave it on until we go to sleep. Luckily, we've been super lucky here. You probably see there's a breeze. It's been beautiful at night. So it's been like high 60s at night. So we've been sleeping with no air, and it literally perfect. So we've been really lucky in terms of temperature.
So regarding, the temperature, we're up in upstate New York. So you'll get up into like the high 80s during the day. We're not in the motorhome. We cut it off. Doesn't matter how hot it gets in there. When we're in it, we turn the air on. Like MJ said, we'll leave it on till about 10, 11 o'clock when we go to bed. Then we cut the generator off, and what I do is I hit the battery disconnect. So the way it's set up on the Newmar, battery disconnect will disconnect most of the power, except for like the refrigerator and some outlets. What that has allowed us to do is that we go all night. I get up in the morning, we're up around 6, 7 o'clock. I check the batteries are about 12.4, 12.5 volts, which is perfect. Then we come on, turn the generator back on, charges everything up. Now, if we had solar, of course, or lithium batteries, that would be able to go even longer. But again, we don't dry camp that much. Right. So this is going to be very particular into how you camp.
I must say, I love dry camping. Now, we both do because the setup. I mean, we love our hookup.
It's simple.
But I love pulling in, and you're good to go.
Now, some people may ask, you know, fuel consumption on the generator. Now, I don't know if you can hear around this, everybody has their generator on. I don't think there's too many solar panels here.
No.
So we have an Onam 5500. It uses, on average, about half a gallon an hour. That's at 50% load. If you have everything going, obviously it's going to use more. 80-gallon tank we have, 60 of that is usable because as a safety mechanism, the generator will cut off at a quarter of a tank. So we've been using the generator now, as MJ described earlier in those situations, Friday, Saturday, it's now Sunday. We're still at a full tank of gas. So we are doing really good regarding power. We could be here till the next Friday with no problem as far as power.
Right.
Now we're going to talk about water. MJ's going to talk about that.
All right, so for water, a couple of different things that we do. So we have been showering outside. Now this is so cool. For once, the women's line is shorter than the men's, so it's great. I go to the shower, there's maybe 1 or 2 people. The men, there's like 15 guys in line. I'm
But at
limited up.
nighttime, there's nobody.
Right. But I'm a morning show because we work out and then I shower after that. So anyway, so yes, showering, we've been showering outside. In terms of other things that we would normally do, we've been going to the bathroom in here. I know you really want to know that, but if we're out, obviously we're going outside. In terms of brushing our teeth, little things, and I'm sure those of you that dry camp know this, but those of you that don't, like I brush my teeth, I fill my cup with water. I don't leave the water running. I brush my teeth. I don't even rinse it in the sink. I just rinse it in the water that's left over in the cup, spill that out, and so that has worked. In terms of the shower, if we were showering on here, we do have the Oxygenics shower head, so you can turn it to where it's just dripping, right? And you don't have that full stream going on. But again, we haven't even been doing that. Washing dishes, Izzy likes to do this. He puts them all in a bowl and he takes them to the nearest spout and he washes everything out there.
Yeah, now if we were in a situation, there's a lot of water spigots out here.
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of spread out throughout
There's spigot hogs, by the way.
Oh yeah, some people don't do this. So if you're near a water spigot, don't like make your RV because it's close, like hook
Like
up
a
and just
hook
leave it.
up,
Like
yeah.
that's not cool. That's not the reason why it's there. But most people have been good. So what I'll do is, like MJ said, I'll take a bowl, go and clean everything up. If you don't have that access, what you can do is you take like a pot or a bowl. We've done this before. You just fill it up with water and you kind of reuse that same water, right? It's a little gross, but it's really only rinsing water,
Right,
and then
right.
you dry stuff off. You can also use disposable things, right? So we've been using disposable and some not, but if you're in a real, like in the middle of nowhere, you can just go disposable.
Right, we got the little, plastic silverware that we use so we don't have to wash. We've got plastic cups and paper plates. And
Now, regarding our water consumption, our water preservation, we have a 75-gallon fresh water tank. As of Sunday today, we're still at 2/3. So we've been doing pretty good. I took one shower yesterday morning here because the men's line was crazy and we're in a time constraint. So I just went in like really quick on and off. That's probably what used the most water.
Right.
Now, regarding our holding tanks, are black and gray. If nobody knows the difference, gray is everything that's from the sink and your drains as far as your shower, or black is essentially your sewer holding tank. So we have, I believe it's 245 gallons. I believe gray is 45 and black is 45. I could be wrong, so don't jump down my throat, but it's in the 40s. So far, we're at 1/3. We dumped out before we got here. Now, they do have pumping service here, so that the car will go around and you can get a pump. That's not going to be necessary for us. They also have one dump station, which is actually kind of a pain to get to because this is very crowded here. But what we'll do when we leave, we'll dump before we get on our way home just to lighten the load a little bit, and then we don't have to worry about it when we get home. Now, as YouTube creators, we've said this multiple times, internet is really important to us. Now, our main setup on our motorhome is based on Verizon. It's the expensive setup with all the antennas and all that stuff. And Verizon actually does have a good signal here, but what we're finding, there's a lot of people here, and I think a lot of people on Verizon. So early in the morning when people are like not up, the speeds are really good, 70 meg download speeds. As the day goes on, everything starts to throttle down, so much so that at nighttime, we're like at 1 megabyte. It's basically unuseful. Why am I telling you this? It's very important to have, if internet's important to you, to have a backup. Now, we have a little Mo5 4500 we've had a long time. I just keep it as a backup. I'm on the T-Mobile plan. It's 100 gigs for $50 a month. If you're looking to get into that, don't, because I'm grandfathered in and they no longer offer it. But we were having a hard time with the internet yesterday, took it out. T-Mobile is good here. Who would have known? I don't know how AT&T is because our phones are also on Verizon. What I'm trying to say is if internet is super important, you have to have a backup plan. This has already happened to us in a couple places where AT&T's better, T-Mobile's better, Verizon's better. If it's that important, have a backup plan. So while we're on the topic of backup things, backup parts, when you are dry camping, you want to run your water, it's only going to run with a pump, a water pump. We have been carrying a backup water pump, and I made sure I had it on board for this, because if we didn't have a pump, then you're SOL, you're not going to have any water. So it was like $180 or something like that. I got it on Amazon. We keep that all the time.
$80 or $180?
I think it's 80.
Okay.
I was going to say 100, but I think it's
Okay.
80. It's a 2-wire hookup. I know exactly where it is. So keep those critical backup parts. We tend to be carrying more of them now because we had a couple things fail. Very important. Now, before we go any further, again, this is specific on how you dry camp. If we're in the middle of nowhere, we'd have to change our strategy, change our plan.
Yes.
So that's why it's really important to prepare beforehand. With all that said, our first time dry camping now for 5 days straight, right? Would we do it again?
100% yes. It's simple. I love it. And again, our next RV, we're going to make sure that we have even bigger tank sizes.
Oh yeah,
to make it
100%.
even easier.
Yeah, if we had like 150 or 200 gallon water, we'd be good to go. But we're good with our 75. That's why we love the motorhome. So in the comments below, let us know, are you a dry camper? Are you a glamper? Do you do both? We're open for anything. We'll try whatever comes, thrown at us.
Yep.
Put it in the comments below. And for myself and MJ, we thank you guys for watching, and we'll see
See you on the road.